Today on the Tiger Lacrosse Report, we'll review the Tigers' CAA Tournament play. Get ready, fans, the Tiger Lacrosse Report starts now. Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Tiger Lacrosse Report. I'm your host, Ben Rosenbaum. Towson Tigers took part in the 2017 CAA Tournament this past weekend inside Johnny Unitas Stadium. They suffered a heartbreaking loss in overtime to the Phoenix of Elon. Let's take a look at the highlights.
Working the far side of the 8, cuts back, looking for room, shoots, and scores. Godfrey with a ripper just inside the 8 puts Elon up 2-1. 23 minutes, 23 seconds to play in the first. Just beat Angie Benson. High for it, now in front for Telekamp. Telekamp spin, low shot, score! Carly Telekamp from Sam Brookhart. We're tied at 2. 21:07 to go in the first. They'll peel out though and try to let this penalty expire. Brookhart gets it to Samonte. Samonte driving, shoots and score! Natalie Samonte ties it up at 3. 12:35 to go in the first. Brookhart in front for Telekamp, shot and score! Just like that, it's a one-goal game. 6-5, Towson trails Elon. 25:16 to go. Towson starting to close the gap. Trying to wrap around. She'll give it over to Dickman on the near side. Now back up top to Gillingham. Gillingham fires a shot and scores! A rocket from Emily Gillingham makes it 7-6. 12:35 to go in the game. And now Asher was laying out of bounds, but play on, says the official. They get it over to Horan. She fires a shot and scores 9-9 with 3:20 to go. Horan picks it up, 4 seconds. Sinakori for a goal line extended shot, save Angie Benson, and we're headed to overtime in game number 2. To Asher, Sinakori now near goal line extended, starting to drift behind the net. A minute to go on the shot clock. In front, shot and a goal, Elon wins. 10-9. Elon has knocked off the Towson Tigers.
Despite the loss, Angie Benson played outstanding with 12 saves, and Samantha Brookhart and Natalie Samonte were named to the all-tournament team. As always, I'm joined by the head coach of the Tigers, Sonia LaMonica. Coach, thanks for joining us.
How you doing, Ben?
Doing good. So, really tough semifinal loss, I think. You could kind of feel the air home game inside Unitas. You could feel the air let out of the stadium when that last goal went in.
Absolutely.
I think the story is obviously Angie and Ramirez for Elon both played outstanding in net, but that first half for you guys was as flat as I'd seen a Towson team play.
Was it?
Yeah.
You think?
A little bit.
For the most part, agree with you. I think there were some good things. There were some good moments, but we just, some of our decision making in that first half hurt us, whether it was some of our clearing, some of our defensive slides, or getting out on the ball typically instead of, dropping inside the 8 on ball. And a couple things not falling our way offensively. But we need to come out in a game like that. When we, romped Elon pretty good, they're going to come out and, come out with a vengeance, and we've got to execute well, and we've got to be on our game. And unfortunately, the first half, we just weren't across the board enough. I will say, I thought we did a very good job in the second half. We cleaned up some things. We kind of got back into how we can play. And, at the end of the day, you hit some pipes. Ramirez coming up with a couple good saves, not quite finishing, taking an extra second. And we had our chances, though. We certainly did. We had our chances to put that game away, and we just unfortunately didn't.
Yeah, I was going to say there was a few moments where you had a chance that shooters beat Ramirez.
Yep.
One shot, I think, in the first half comes to mind from Montalbano, who shot 5 times. She ends with 0 goals, though, and she rang a few off the crossbar. You were beating the goalie. It was just the brakes weren't falling that way.
Yeah, I think Nat hit a pipe. I think, Carly's typically a very strong finisher, and, she didn't finish one in that kind of key when we had a good momentum. But doesn't just fall on that one. You can sort of look back at a lot of those situations and any one of those falling, and it could have been a different outcome. So we certainly gave ourselves the opportunities, which I think is encouraging, as opposed to not even being able to kind of get those good shots. We had great looks, and just unfortunately didn't finish them. But some nice goals were scored in that game. I thought we had some really pretty goals when we scored.
Yeah, and in that second half, I mean, the first half, defensively, they played solid throughout. Elon scores 6 in the first half. They only scored 3 in the second half prior to overtime. And then Emily Gillingham, offensively, a hat trick. She kind of picked up the scoring load for the first time. She had scored, but she had never been the leading scorer in games for a large part of the season. She's really talented, and she's got a lot of potential. And I think sometimes teams guard her tighter because of that potential she has.
She's one of our she's one of our top players. I mean, one-on-one, there's only one defender this season, and that was Junior from William & Mary that I have seen be able to stop her 1v1. I have not seen anybody else really truly stop her 1v1. She draws the slides every time. T slide early to her. She's got a great finish. She's very deceptive. Goalies have a hard time reading her shot and finding the ball. She is a player that unfortunately has not gotten much notice, whether it be in conference or in a national level, because maybe, I mean, she's got good numbers. Certainly for a midi, she's moved into more of an attacking role, but she's been huge on the circle for us, on the draws. I mean, her and Nat, on many, many occasions, on many games, have had really strong connections on draws. Nat's getting the ball to her, and Gilly's getting up there and getting the ball. So, yeah, she's very underrated. We certainly rate her high on our team, but she's definitely underrated out there. And I think Sam's another one, even though she's been getting some acknowledgement. I mean, she had an outstanding game too. She would have crushed it had we just finished some of the opportunities in terms of points and her ability behind the cage and how she's setting up teammates.
And sticking with Emily for a moment too, in my opinion, when she gets into transition, when you guys force a turnover or there's a save, and she gets ahead of steam going, more often than not, it's a goal or at least a shot on goal or draws a free position. Is the game plan for you, when you do get those caused turnovers and she's open, she's option one to just take it the length of the field and try to get something going? Does she have the green light, basically?
Oh, they all do. I mean, look, and this is sort of, from my perspective, my philosophy is empowerment of these players. It's really important that they read the plays, that they create. Not big on, our first look is A to B, and then if that's not there, we look at B to C. It is, you get your head up and you read the play. And a lot of times it is Gilly coming down. It could be Nat coming down too, I mean, from draws. And certainly Gilly, I think her teammates, they understand what her strengths are and they'll get out of her way, particularly if you're in a man defense. When you're in a zone, it's a little different because you're going to draw, you're going to run into a wall if it's a good zone. But Gilly, she definitely does a great job of protecting her stick, and she's got deceptive speed. I mean, she's tall, she's got long legs, she moves really well, and she's tough and she's confident when she has the ball.
All right. A tough loss in the CAA tournament, but there is still lacrosse to be played. Join us next time when we preview the Tigers' NCAA tournament game against High Point. For head coach Sonia LaMonica, I'm Ben Rosenbaum. Thanks for joining us, and as always, go Tigers.